Sorry.
Oh yeah, like that. That was perfect for you.
Yeah, and like you are an artist now, Sabrina. Like you do. Are you working right now? Like doing art?
Yeah, I've been in it for a bit.
And you started as a PA, and like people don't realize like you can start in production. You know, if you're actually passionate about learning the production, like learning how to make cartoons, learning the behind the scenes. Like if you're just gonna try and become a PA just to get into the artist, that's kind of screwed up because, you know, you don't want to like, yeah, like that was like another issue. Like when I was hiring like people, people would say in interviews like, oh, I just want to be an artist, so I'm going to start as a PA. I'm like, no, you're not, because we want somebody that's actually like
gonna work.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, especially a PA in the animation industry does like a little bit of everything. Like they need to be focused, they need to be on call all the time, they need to be ready to do whatever the hell there is to do. You know, I mean, that's in my opinion, like I didn't start as a PA, I started as a coordinator, but the PAs that I work with and the PAs that I help hire over at Starburns, I really depend on them so much. Like there's so many little things, so many gaps they fill in, and it's a great position to learn a little bit of every part of the pipeline. You know, like every little pipeline, the pipeline's super complicated. There's a lot of steps, and as a PA, you learn a little bit of all of it, which is really helpful.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone should start as a PA, because even artists like even artists that I've worked with, they struggle sometimes with organizing like what scenes they're gonna do first, or like kind of a structure, to have a structure of like what to prioritize. And I feel like if you had more production knowledge, you would be able to kind of knock that out a little better.
It's not a PA because like there's a lot of artists who don't have a good organizational brain, which is you're alluding to. And definitely internships. I wish they would have stronger internships. So like you gotta learn the terminology, the proper kind of like order of production, who the address to and who gets what. And then you move up to being a storyboard artist, background artist, lead designer, whatever. That's the stuff.
That would be great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
awesome.
If you just jump in without knowing any of this stuff, obviously you can learn on the job, which I did in my first job, but it really helps to know like, oh, what a supervising director does. Oh, what a storyboard artist does. What a design coordinator does. Like it helps to know what all these people do and who you should be reporting to and stuff.
And another important thing about that, if you would proper kind of like guidance and mentorship, you learn like what is reasonable to ask of those jobs and those roles too, so you're not exploited for later.
Yeah, for sure. If you don't know, you can ask the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's always good for like a family of people working together, like to know what everyone does, so they can all like respect what each other does and not get too angry at somebody for, you know, if this person's not taking too long to answer them or whatever. I think it's good to have an understanding of what everybody does, but yeah.
I mean, it needs to run like clockwork. You know, everybody on the production is like a gear in the machine, and the PA is kind of like the grease that keeps it moving. You know, they're needed to keep everything kind of moving smoothly. You know, so I think it's
greasy PAs.
Yeah, for sure. But they touch every part, every gear as they go through. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I didn't know what to expect. Like I knew I just wanted to learn how to make cartoons, and I didn't know how I was going to fit in. But I applied for a PA job online with Titmouse in New York, because I was like, oh, there's one in New York? All right, I'll try that. And I did not think in a million years they were going to call me. I really didn't. I just sent it. And a month later, a month after I graduated, I got a call from HR in New York. And they called me in for an interview at Titmouse, and I went and I got it. I still can't believe I got it. It's crazy.
So you were interning you were PAing in New York.
Yeah, assistant.
So you moved. So after college, you moved right back to New Jersey.
Back to Jersey.
Nice. Cool. So what show were you on at Titmouse?
I started on China, Illinois. Do you guys remember that show?
Of course. Brad Neely was one of my faves. He still is. Yeah, this show's great.
Yeah, he's super funny. Yeah, it was season 3, so it was the last season that I thank God I could work on that show. I love that show. It's so funny.
Fantastic. And did you move up from PA to coordinator relatively quickly?
What happened? Jeez.
I want to get to the good YouTube stuff, so.
Sorry. Oh my God, I'm so slow.
No, it's. For you.
I went. Please, like, feel free to just tell me to like hurry the fuck up.
No, we want to hear it all.
No, I did a season of China, Illinois, and then after that, wow, I don't even fucking remember. I think I worked. Oh my God, I worked at a visual effects studio after that as a coordinator. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Zoic.
I know Zoic. You know, a buddy of mine works there. Yeah, he used to work there back in the day.
Me too. I was like the third or fourth employee in the New York office. So I don't know. It was, they like just opened up in New York. I think they're like super established in LA. But
yeah, definitely. Because I think Zoic did, maybe they worked on Lost, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my God, I don't know, but I fucking love Lost.
Okay.
Did they? Jesus, I just.
They might back in the day, yeah. Because that's how I know my buddy worked on like the last few seasons.
They might have. That sounds familiar. God, I wish I worked on that show. Okay. I could off and just ramble. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh yeah. So I worked as a coordinator at a visual effects house, which is, oh my God, so much more stressful than an animation studio. Jesus. It was so stressful. I didn't like working in a visual effects company. Everything's like.
Why was it so much stressful? Oh, just more fast paced?
Oh my God, the deadlines are so tight. I literally worked OT every single day, and it was mandatory OT. It was great. It was crazy. I got paid really well there, but the OT was not worth it. I actually ended up like quitting there. and I let Titmouse know, I'm like, hey, I don't know if there's any more shows, but I was a coordinator for this amount of time here, so I don't know if you're looking for coordinators. So they ended up hiring me as a coordinator because I had coordinator experience at the visual effects.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. So you jumped from Titmouse to PA, coordinator at the VFX studio, and back to coordinator over at Titmouse.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you guys ever heard of Cartoona, but that's a really small studio in Brooklyn. It's super small, fairly new. They do like a lot of social media stuff. But
how do you spell it?
CAR.
Is it T-N-A or T-O-O-N?
T-U, like tuna.
Oh.
So like I went from like Titmouse to Zoic to Titmouse to Cartoona back to Titmouse. And that was it. And then I did Titmouse for a few years after that.
What were the shows you worked on at your last stint at Titmouse?
Oh man, I worked on Nico and the Sword of Light.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Super cute. I worked on Home with the DreamWorks like TV.
Wasn't that on Nickelodeon, or was that on Netflix or something?
Netflix.
That was also a DreamWorks movie as well with Rihanna.
Oh right, yeah, for sure. Usually those shows go to Nickelodeon, but I guess that one went to DreamWorks.
That's when they DreamWorks made their break with Nickelodeon around that time.
I see. Cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
Shit. Zorn. You guys ever hear Zorn?
Zorn? Yeah.
Was that
Son of Zorn.
A live action hybrid?
Zorn and the Son of, I don't know what I'm saying.
Son of Zorn, right?
Son of Zorn, yeah.
Son of Zorn, right, yeah. That was a live action hybrid.
Yeah, Phil Lord and Chris Miller produced it.
Yeah, that didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. It seemed like it was lined up for success.
I thought it was.
I heard it got better later.
Yeah, it did. It was honestly, I thought it was such a good show. I don't even know if I'm biased because I worked on it, but I thought it was funny. It got canceled. I was pissed.
So you were a production coordinator on these shows?
Yeah.
Nice. And you were. Sorry. Go ahead, Sabrina.
I was just gonna say, I assume that helped you a crap ton as far as like your confidence in executing your own personal artwork, right?
Oh my God, if I didn't have experience in like an industry on how to make cartoons, everything like Titmouse does to make cartoons, I took and do it on my own cartoons. Because if I didn't learn that structure, oh man, I would not be, I could not make cartoons without a structure. There's no way.
Yes. So you take this pipeline that you learned over these was it like four or 5 years working in the industry, right? Yeah. And you're like, all right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to shrink it down to my level that I need it, but I'm going to apply the same steps and I'll do it on my own.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So that brings us into the next phase. You're like, well, before we get into that, the next phase is this YouTube stuff, which you might have been doing this whole time. I don't know. We haven't really asked about that. But should I do the intro again, or are we good to go?
No.
All right.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
let's
We're
go.
So there was an intro, and then there was about 45 seconds to a minute of awkwardness.
good.
That will serve as our musical intro today, just us rambling about nothing.
Here we are.
And now, here we are.